And you bounce back after, I guess, I don't know, 6 months maybe happens. You tell the story. I don't know what the fuck happens next.
So it took about a year after that. Say about a year. Didn't do shit. No rap, no video. Restaurant. I just sold out of the restaurant and everything's done with that. That year, I must have slept, bro. I don't know how much time, how many hours I slept to make up for all the hours I didn't sleep for the previous 2 years being in the restaurant business. And can't remember when, but I woke up one day and I'm like, I gotta get some shit popping. Something's gotta get moving, you know what I mean? I bought a drone for the fuck of it. I bought a Phantom 4 Pro. Bought the drone, I'm like, it's got a camera, so it's got something I like on it, and it's like, it's still a hobby on the hobby side because it's a game, it's a toy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started using this thing. The fucking image was amazing on it, and I meet I meet my current partner right now. That's part of my company. I meet him through a mutual friend, and he has a camera. He has an actual handheld camera. It was $1,000 camera, Sony A6000. So I meet him, and he's like, he knows I have the Phantom 4 Pro, and he asks me, "Would you be down to go shoot a little project for Subaru Montreal, one
Okay.
of the dealerships?" So I'm like, "Fuck yeah, why not? Subaru Montreal, I'm down." So we go shoot a little ad with the camera. We got the drone fucking pulling 360s around the Subaru and everything. We did a nice fucking video for it. We loved it. He loved the video. He hired us to do another video. So from that point, we sat down with each other, and I told him, we can make a lot of money doing this, right? him at that point, he had his camera. He just wanted to make educational workout videos.
Yep.
That was his goal. He wanted to make educational workout videos, put them on YouTube, get views. And I told him, look, we can make money with this. I go, you got a good eye. You have a good eye. I think I have good directional skills and stuff like that, and communicating skills to go out there and get these jobs and stuff. So we started a little business, and we started reaching out to people, cold calling, getting the gigs, hitting up some big names out of the blue, just like, fuck it, let's see what they say. Call up Kid de Cheval. Kid de Cheval, oh yeah, we need a video. First 2 minutes on the line with Kid de Cheval. Land the job with Kid de Cheval. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? Did about a year's worth of work with Rootsack. I don't even know how you pronounce it still to this day. But started working with a lot of big names. Fujifilm, a bunch of musicians in the city, and from that point, it just started elevating. And my partner, the way he sees it, he goes for the big volume, the big price customers and stuff like that. He doesn't want to try to reach out to the small end and waste your time for a $500 video because there's no actual return in it. He's like, I want to hit the companies. I want to hit the people that have bank and they want to pay $20,000 a video. At the end of the day, that feeds you. That feeds your family. It makes sense. That's a business move. So he has a very business mind, and from that point on, we just started growing the company, man. And every day we just keep getting new clients.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
that explains a lot, I guess, about your video life and your experience, which is just crazy. I mean, what's the name of your company? How do people find you if they want to hire you?
King's Court Productions.
King's Court
You can find
Productions.
us on kingscourtproductions.com. You can find us on Instagram, Kings_Court_Productions,
We're going to link
or King's Court.
everything. So, yeah, everything will be
And
linked below.
check out the work. Check out the work, man.
That's fucking cool, man. So, at what point do you go, I'm going to make this movie? I mean, I'm assuming.
The movie has been in my head for a while. To be honest with you, the actual story itself has been in my head for a few years now. Only with the first lockdown that happened, I got the nudge to write it.
Okay.
I'm like, now I have time to actually make this thing happen. I didn't know one thing. I didn't know the first thing about writing a script. So I had to do my research. How do I fucking format this script? Oh, I got to download this app. That way it's going to format it the right way. Let's read some scripts, see how the caption the scenes and stuff like that, how everything's written. Basically, see the skeleton. So I saw that. I started writing it on that end. And the scripts grew. It grew over time. I started last January. We're heading into January now, so it's about a year. Got the cast pretty much fully casted. Unfortunately, we got to find new cast members for certain actors, for certain characters, because they can no longer do the film. They have other commitments, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But it's going to be an exciting moment. I can't wait to get this thing started. Can't wait to clap that clapper and say action for the first time on this film.
But hold on. So
We
you,
did so many.
I feel like we just blitzed through a lot here. Like, there's a lot to like, dude. You just said, I decided I'm gonna make a movie. I don't know, fuck all. And now we're making the movie, and I'm real excited. And I'm like, okay, like, there's a little more I think we can get out of this because that's fucking incredible. First of all, that's that role model shit to me. That's that shit that like what makes you in particular somebody worth sitting here and talking to in this kind of a context because end of the day, a lot of people know how to like dream, but they don't know how to execute. And at this point in your story, I've seen you execute on music, a video production company. You managed to go and execute connections in other cities with rappers and stuff to the point where today you've already started working on some future shit down the line. Like the way your mind works is super interesting. Can you tell us a bit more about like how you went about the challenges? Like obviously you're not going to give away the plot to your movie, etc. But what can you tell us about the process of like actually going through creating a movie for the people that are out there? Because you, like somebody like me, I don't know shit all about movies. Like to me, it's like, yo, I get the general premise of how a video is made, but like, tell us more about the process of like going from this an idea to, wow, I've got all these people booked and shit.
Yeah, well, it's a long process, dude. So it all starts with the idea. You have the idea. Then you put that idea to the paper, you write it all down, and as soon as that moment, as soon as you finish the script and you're ready to get it popping, that's when the fun starts. That fun that I'm talking about right now is finding a first AC. I'm gonna mention all these things that you probably have no idea what I'm saying,
Yo,
but I'm gonna throw them out.
you feel free to just say what they are. What's the AC?
So, assistant camera. You need your assistant camera. You need your assistant director. You need the makeup artist. You need the sound guy. You need the. You got to find all these locations that you wrote on your script. You got to find them and make them as true as possible to what you wrote. You got to find. You got to find props. You got to find the blood. You got to. There's a lot of fucking factors that go into play over here. And while you're doing the calculations to see how much all these things are going to cost, and it's times, let's say a feature film will take around 18 days to film, the way we're going to shoot it. So 18 days times all these people I just mentioned have to get paid.
Oh boy.
So you have all these things. And you go through the process of asking for all the candidates possible. Send in your CVs. Let me see what your price rate is. And I think that's the most challenging part of making the movie, because once you get your idea onto that paper, it flows. That's what I think. As soon as you put how I work, I take a 6-pack of beer or something. I'll open up my notepad, and I'll start getting cracking on my story. That particular script, I must have revised it 10 times. There's 10 different revisions. So many things that have changed in the original script that I have like 10 different versions of the movie in my head. And now you have the pristine one that I want to show everybody.
Okay.
It's a process behind it, man.
It's very similar to songwriting in that regard, where like often you'll have like an idea, and if you're doing it right, I find in the writing process, you accept editing is a good thing. So you go back to ideas. Maybe that particular line doesn't fit, so you rework
Exactly.
it so it gets snugger in the pocket, and then you get to the
Yeah.
point where everything just feels right and it's all polished, and you can put it out into the world. Um, but I think what was super interesting about what you were saying is even on the hiring front, you have to come up with your full list of everybody that's involved, and the nuances of what every role is. People can just Google, etc. It's fair enough. But what you said that was super fascinating is that first of all, don't just take the first person, do it professionally, and that's something I caught about how you were like looking for people. It was all these like a business posting for positions,
Exactly.
and then you said you were like taking CVs and you were comparing prices, and effectively you had to create a budget to what it is you can actually afford versus the best value across each of the positions. So with that in mind, some positions are going to be worth more than others, and this is no disrespect to any positions, but what would you say are the most important roles in a movie that you should prioritize the top quality on versus something else? And again, it's not meant to put anybody in regards. It's just about budgeting concerns and advice to other people who would ever want to take this endeavor.
Well, look, everything is equally important in my books, but the two main things that everybody wants to see when they watch a movie is great visuals, and they want it to sound good. Sound is very important. A lot of people don't realize how important sound is to a movie.
Mm,
That gravel that the foot is walking over, the lighter being flicked and stuff like that. That takes time. There's a lot of sound design that goes behind that, and that's what I think is the most important part of the film. It's either you're visualizing or you're listening.
right.